welcome to Watch Symposium. I'm Austin, and this isn't a fun video to make. We've got some breaking news, and it deals with a reality, a dark reality of Rolex watches, especially these days, and the criminal element that they seem to elicit, especially in certain parts of the world. The breaking news is that Amsterdam vintage watches, yesterday, the 22nd of October, was broken into in the early hours of the morning. 4:50 a.m. The watch shop was broken into. It suffered 500,000 euros worth of damage, and 40 Rolex and Cartier watches were stolen. Now, I don't know if that €500,000 figure is the damage to the shop. The missing Rolexes, I don't know if that figure is together, but it's 40 very expensive watches are gone now, and there you go. And I've been in Amsterdam Vintage Watches. I went there with Guido, link in the description to that video. I shook hands with Jasper, the owner. He's a very nice guy. He has a YouTube channel as well. I'll put a link into the description of his YouTube channel. But there you go. Now, this was the second attempt, and this time it was successful. In February, a bomb, I guess it was like some sort of bomb, homemade bomb was set off to try to break into the shop. That wasn't successful, of course. This recent attempt was. And look, Amsterdam goes into probably one of the top one or two positions for, some of the areas where it's so dangerous to wear a Rolex watch. And of course, I'm discounting places like Somalia and whatever, where just being there, you have a huge percentage of losing your life and everything you own. But we're talking first world countries where you would think it would be pretty safe. And, London is up there, and Amsterdam is too. And look, I wore my Explorer 2 the whole time I was in Amsterdam. How did I get away with it? How did I get I survived Amsterdam with a Rolex on my wrist t-shirt? Well, the luck of the draw. And when I went, it was winter. It was winter, and I was wearing a sweater, and my Rolex watch was under the sweater the whole time. Now, if I had gone and done the same thing in summer with my watch showing, how would it have gone? Probably not well. I might have luckily been able to do it, but I was walking around at night, these back streets with a Rolex watch on, and for you to look down and be able just to see that, it probably wouldn't have gone so well. And if it did, I would just say it was luck. Okay, so this day and time, if you are by yourself in the evening or even in the day, okay, walking around with a Rolex watch showing in Amsterdam, you're really just asking for it, and it's just a matter of time before something happens, because the criminal element that are fixated on Rolex in that city is off the charts, and they've got apparently Rolex gangs that's their thing, to find people wearing Rolex watches. And if you're, like I said, not in a group of people, which I think would be safer, walking around by yourself and they see you've got a Rolex watch, it's on. I mean, they're going to try to take it, and you're going to suffer for it. So it's just a part of wearing the watches these days, and it really detracts from the fun element. And we're not in a situation anymore where you can just buy your one Rolex watch and wear it throughout your life. You have to take into consideration where you are, where you're going. And if you're in London or Amsterdam or certain other cities by yourself, you're just playing the odds. You're just rolling the dice. A place here, Japan, very safe, not a problem. The United States, I guess, pick the city, but on the whole, not that big of a deal. I don't know what it is about certain European cities. I don't know if it's lax crime laws, certain elements that open borders, have drawn it. I don't know. Put your guesses in the comment section. Be careful. Let's be politically correct and all that. I don't know what it is, but would I wear my Rolex watches in Amsterdam? Absolutely not. I mean, especially if I was making videos and stuff, they'd live at the bank. All of them. Would I wear a Tudor watch? That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, it's just, you take your life in your hands in a city like that when you wear an expensive watch. And I want to say that something like this, I don't know if they'd know what it is, and it's it's a big watch, and big watch is sort of that's the telltale sign of a shitter. So they might just think, this, I don't know. And I don't know if they would go for a Tudor watch, but look, Tudors are expensive watches, and I think it really is all about opportunity. If you're a lone guy walking down the street at night in Amsterdam, and you come up on 5 guys, whether you have a sweater on or not, they're probably going to check out your watch. They can, right? And I can't help but think back about being in Mongolia, and I was staying in a hostel, and a guy was staying there, and he lived in Japan too, and met him, talked with him, and a few days later I saw him, and he said, I got robbed. He was in the square, and I think it was like in the middle of the day, the town square in Ulaanbaatar, and 5 Mongolian guys just walked up to him, surrounded him, and just started going through his pockets. What do? You swing on one of those guys, big Mongolian guys, man, they're gonna F you up, right? There's nothing he could do, really, all right? And that's the situation. So, if you're walking around by yourself, as good a fighter as you might think you are, then, it's really not going to mean much if you're just surrounded by guys that are willing to kill you if you give them any trouble. So, Rolex watches, they've always been expensive watches. What's changed? Nothing. I don't know. I guess the criminal element really has started thinking about these watches. I guess, they always have been desirable, but for some reason, in these parts, it's just, I guess it's quick money, and it's just the ease. And if they get caught, I guess it's maybe the punishments aren't that big of a deal. It's not like some countries where you would lose your life or limb. You'll probably be in jail for a year or two, and if you're a desperate criminal, I guess that's not that big of a deal. But the ease of taking a watch off somebody, maybe that's what it is, and I don't know if you've ever seen, older guy walking around with a Rolex watch. Sometimes I see older guys wearing Rolex watches on the train, and I think to myself, man, I could take that Datejust like nobody's business. Do I want to? No, but I just think about how easy it is. It's right there, this old dude. And if I was of the criminal world and I had 3 other guys, and you say, let's do it, well, the ease of taking that watch and flipping it, that's what it is. And got into this store, and 40 of them are gone, and they're probably 40 people out there that are going to buy these stolen watches and then have to give them back at some point, or these watches will just exist, as Paul Thorpe explained, on the black market. So, unfortunate bit of news, but it's really seems to be unfortunately par for the course in Amsterdam. Credit to Guido, who let me know about this news. Now, he's going to be making a video about this, and he has a list of some of the pieces that are stolen. So I'm going to put a link to his YouTube channel. And so after you watch this, in a couple days, he'll probably have his video up, and he'll go into the details. So be sure to check out Guido's channel and his upcoming video. All right, so let me know if you have any stories of wearing your watches in dangerous areas. I'll leave you with one that was kind of, I was all right, but it kind of sketched me out a bit. And that was my most recent trip to Cambodia, all right? So I was taking a tuk-tuk back to my hotel. This was the first night I was there, and it was late. It was dark. It was probably 12 at night, and the tuk-tuk driver just was having a hard time getting me back. And I was showing him where my hotel was on my phone. It wasn't that big of a deal. He should have been able to take me back, but he just was going down these really sketchy side streets in the middle of the night. And I thought, I have no idea where this guy is taking me. It's, he's acting confused, huge language barrier. Is he going to pull up in front of a building where 3, 4, 5 guys come out and they just take everything I own? It was entirely possible. And it was the Explorer 2 on my wrist that gave me the most worry. I mean, if I didn't have that, it's like, why are they going to kill me, right? I'll give them everything they want. But that piece of horology right there was the thing that I thought, okay, this is something I don't want to lose. And I stand, a possible chance of losing it. In the end, I bailed and I started walking, and I found another tuk-tuk driver, and this tuk-tuk driver started falling back. Anyway, I got away from the guy. He was totally incompetent, and that's a best case scenario. So anyway, if I'd been wearing a Casio, I don't think it'd be that big of a deal. I wouldn't have worried that much, but the whole time I was thinking, are you going to lose this watch? Are you going to lose this watch in an hour? What are you going to do if 5 guys come out and they want this watch? What are you going to do? All right. It's tough. Let me know what you think. Take care. Thanks for watching. And I hope, Jasper gets everything sorted as soon as possible. I hope they catch these guys, and I hope, all these watches go back to where they're supposed to be. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.